Now I'm going to get into chakras. We all know about chakras, but I'm going to just explain you how we can take advantage of understanding what is happening within us by understanding chakras. So when when energy becomes stuck in our body, so when energies are stuck in our body, it cannot flow to higher centers, higher chakras. And since emotions are energy, these emotions get stuck in different chakras and we cannot evolve. So what happens, friends? Different chakras store different energy and different emotions. So through your life, there are a lot of times where you experience trauma, suffering, fear, competition, guilt, shame, and a lot of these emotions are actually are unresolved emotions, and they block the chakras. So if you look at, for example, the lowest chakra, the root chakra or the Muladhara chakra, if you've had emotions like sexual depravity, addiction to sex, sexual anxiety, trauma from molestation, your lower chakra, which or the root chakra, is not balanced. The sacral chakra, when you're feeling guilt, shame, pain, unworthiness, lack, victimization, the sacral chakra is imbalanced. And when that is imbalanced, you feel all these kind of emotions. So today, like in the meditation, we actually balanced each of these chakras. So when we balance each of these chakras, uh, you actually release those emotions, release those unresolved emotions, or that pain, or those sufferings, or those traumas, and the chakra starts to balance. Now, if you look at the solar plexus, which is your Manipura, if there is feeling of competition, control, ego, impatience, so when that happens, your solar plexus is blocked or is not balanced. So the idea is, friends, to understand that emotions are blocked in our lower centers, and when they are stuck there, you're not able to move to the higher center. The idea is to move to higher centers like heart, throat, third eye, crown. And once you move and you release these emotions, the body goes into motion, and automatically you start balancing each of these chakras. And through meditation, it happens naturally. And if you want to do it consciously, then the chakra meditation really helps, because it is directed to each of the chakra. And as you know, where you place your energy, where you place your attention, is where you place your energy. So when you place your attention in each of these chakras, it does help and it does balance. But the body also knows it all. So even when you're doing meditation, the chakras do automatically balance, because the energy is working where it needs to work. So when during breath works or meditation, because of you're releasing so much energy and generating so much energy, it goes automatically to the right chakras. Now, this is a very, very interesting work done by Louise Hay. And she, in her book, I'm pretty sure many of you must have read her book, You Can Heal Your Life. And in her book, she talks about this emotional pain chart. And she says that every pain or is actually taught us that, if it's neck, so if you are a stubborn person and if you're stuck to something, then you have pain in your neck. If you are burdened, then you have pain in your shoulder. When you're feeling a lot of stress and burden, you have pain in your shoulder. So the emotion actually causes the pain, and thus it takes us to a disease. Spine, for example, very, very important. And a lot of times when people have pain in their spine, they should look back and see whether they've lost some kind of support in their life. So it could be a loss of a person, it could be loss of a relationship, it could be loss of friends, it could be loss of financial support. So whenever there is a loss of support, you have pain in your spine, and like that, different parts of our body store different kinds of unresolved emotion, and the minute you start resolving those emotions, you actually start healing your body. So I'll give you an example. My mom, uh, had this entire massive issue of back pain, and it all started when my father passed away. I was just 8 years old. My mother was very, very young, and immediately within a month she developed this massive, she had a big issue in her bulge in her L4 L5, and slip disc, and she had massive sciatica pain, and for years she suffered. For more than 15 years she suffered from that back pain. But slowly she started to understand that my pain is because of my unresolved emotions, and because I was feeling unsupported at that moment, I developed that pain. So she started doing meditations, breath works, exercising, and hats off to her. I have never seen a person as regular, as routine. She will repeat her routine come what may, and she's my role model when it comes to dedication, and it's amazing that she will never miss her exercise, she'll never miss her meditations, her breath works, and today she has completely healed herself. And even today, if you see, if a doctor sees her MRI reports, and doctor is like, how can she even walk? But she can do everything. She can travel, she can walk, she can swim, and she's absolutely free of that pain, of that the lack of support which actually caused her disease. She's released that emotion, and thus she's healed herself. So it's very important, friends, to actually resolve the emotion that is causing the disease. So every disease is because of some unresolved emotion, and we need to understand what is that unresolved emotion that we need to heal, or that we need to resolve, to resolve our disease or to resolve our trauma. So friends, again, going back to chakras, the entire purpose is that to move from these limited emotions which are blocked in our lower chakras, to move to elevated emotions. So when we feel a lot of blockages in our lower chakras, uh, the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus, there are a lot of negative emotions, or the limited emotions we call them, like hostility, doubt, fear, anger, worry, anxiousness, judgment, guilt, sadness, shame, depression, lust. And trust me, friends, uh, all these emotions are linked to each other. So if you change one, you can change all. And uh, and each of these emotions are felt by all of us. Trust me, each one of us feels this emotion sometime in your day, sometimes in your life. But the whole purpose is how quickly you can snap back and go into the creative emotions, go into the elevated emotions, right? And it's the understanding of these emotions, that we are feeling the limited emotions, and we need to snap back to the elevated emotions. And that is the purpose of meditation, really, because when you do that, you're automatically balancing your chakras, the energy is moving to higher centers, your heart chakras open, your third eye is getting open, you feel a lot of energy in your crown chakra. And when that happens, you automatically move into the creative emotions, which is gratitude, love, joy, trust, knowingness. You feel a lot more whole. You feel like trusting the universe, and you're ready to enter the unknown. You don't fear the unknown, you don't fear what's going to happen in the future, because you're just so whole in the present moment. And that is what you really want to feel. And in these times of COVID and so many things going on, it's very important to understand that which emotions are we in, and what are we really feeling. Are we really fearing the problem, or we are in the higher states where you're ready for everything, right? And you start seeing the world from a higher lens. And when you do that, the universe starts to plan from you for you, and then you start to see, oh wow, the universe is rigged in my favor, because you know whatever is going to happen is going to be the best for you. So important to be in these elevated emotions. So friends, again, very very important work done by David Hawkins. He's written this book called Power versus Force, and I was really amazed to see the kind of work he's done, and also very excited because what we experience in our meditation, he's actually scientifically proven that through kinesiology, and he's actually given a scale and rated and tested these energies at a scale from 0 to 1,000. So how each of these emotions actually affect the amount of energy that we generate in our body and release in our body. So if you look at energies like shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, it's very low in the energy scale. So if you see like emotions, sorry, not energy, emotions like shame, guilt, fear, desire, anger, the level of energy is low. But as you move to things like courage, so now courage is 200, love is 500, joy and peace is 600 and 700, and enlightenment is 800 to 1,000. So entire purpose is how we can be in that enlightened state, how we can be in that peace and joy state, in the love state. And when you're in that state, when you're in that acceptance state, you're releasing a lot of energy. You're actually, and it's amazing now, it has been tested, and each of these energies been tested from a scale to 0 to 1,000. And the more you're in that elevated emotions, the more energy you release, and the more energy you release, you have that much more energy to heal and repair yourself. So it's now no miracle, it's all science, and it's all proven now that how it is so important to meditate, because when you're in meditation, you actually go into these higher states of emotions, these higher states of consciousness. So the entire purpose is to balance each one of your chakras. So when the root chakra or the Muladhara chakra is not balanced, you feel low energy. As you balance it, you're more confident. When the sacral, the Swadhisthana chakra is imbalanced, there is loss of creativity, there are problems, you feel despair. And then through meditation, you start feeling that, okay, now I have new ideas, I'm more creative, and more, I want more from life. When the solar plexus, the Manipura chakra, which is just above your navel, you feel angry and helpless when it's imbalanced, and you start to organize it as it's balanced, and you feel you can accomplish your dreams. The heart chakra, we focus so much on the heart chakra because it's so important, because you attract from your heart. It is the magnetic chakra. We say that the thought sends the signal out, but the feelings which is in your heart is magnetic, and it pulls the event back, and the thoughts are electric, but feelings are magnetic. So when you open your heart chakra, you feel a lot more loved, and you're loving. Your throat chakra, when it's balanced, you can express yourself freely. So you move from I cannot express myself to I can express myself freely. So it's very important, and I see a lot of people who just can't communicate because a lot of times their throat chakra, which is Vishuddha chakra, is imbalanced. And the minute you start focusing on your throat chakra, and you are suddenly able to communicate, you can speak your mind, and that happens to a lot of us. Third eye, Ajna, And ajna is again, when you're in deep state of meditation, when the ajna is not balanced, you feel indecisive, confusion, nightmare, poor insight. But as you start to balance it, you feel calm. You can resolve any problem. And again, a very, very, very important chakra. And the last one is your crown chakra, which is Sahasrara. What happens is, when it's imbalanced, you feel lonely, depression, anxiety, confusion. And as you meditate and start to balance it, you are at peace. You feel that, you're one with the universe. Nothing really affects you, and you feel complete peace and complete joy. So, friends, the entire purpose is to balance our chakras. And there is so much you can talk about chakras. There's so much work there's been done by chakras. But the idea is, not understand so much about each of these theory, but understand how it really affects to our life. And a lot of this work happens because of your understanding and in your experiences in your meditation. A lot of these chakras automatically gets balanced. And when you want to focus in any of these particular chakra, you can always pay your attention to those chakras. So friends, that brings me to the last slide of this session. And the entire purpose is to move to the animal state, or to the survival state, to our divine state, which is the God state. So the entire purpose is how quickly we can snap back from the high beta to the alpha and low beta, how quickly we can snap back from the animal part of ourselves, the human part of ourselves, to the divine or the God part of ourselves. So we have two states of body and mind. The first state is your animal or the human state, and the other state is your divine and God state. So how we can live in the divine and God state for more and more, I think that really defines us. That is the purpose of meditation, of life, and how quickly we can snap back into, because that is our true self. So moving from survival to creation, moving from stress to homeostasis, moving. So when you're in high beta, you're in that stress hormones, but as you go into meditation, you start repairing and you move into homeostasis, moving from contraction to expansion. You feel very contracted when you're in stress, right? You feel very, very small. And when you're in meditation, you feel expanded. You feel literally that your heart center, your anahata chakra, is feeling expanded, and that you feel that expansion. You feel bigger than your body. That's because you're in the divine self of yourself. Move from catabolism to anabolism. So catabolism, friends, is tissue breakdown. So when you're in high beta, you actually, because of the release of cortisol, you break down this tissue, your tissues, your immunity breaks down. But when you're in the parasympathetic nervous system, you are in anabolism. Anabolism is basically tissue repair, it's growth and repair. So when you're in lower states of brainwave, you actually are in growth and repair mode, moving from disease to health, moving from imbalance to order, from tissue breakdown to tissue repair, from degeneration to regeneration, from fear, anger, sadness to joy, to love, to trust, to knowingness, to gratitude, moving from those fear-based emotions to love-based emotions. You're always focusing on the self when you're in high beta, but when you're in the elevated emotions, you're more selfless. You're thinking about the society. You're thinking about the bigger picture. When you're in high beta, you take life with your environment, body, and time. You focus too much on the external environment, your body, the time. But as you go beyond your analytical mind, as you go into the alpha and theta state, you move to no thing, no body, no time. And that is the purpose of meditation. Go beyond your ego. A lot of energy is lost in high beta, in the survival state, and a lot of energy is generated when you're in the God state. Moving from emergency to repair, moving from object focus to open focus. You're focusing, when the lion is in front of you, only focusing about the lion, only focusing about, so you become very, very narrow focused. So from being narrow focused to being open focused, from being separate to connected, from being as an individual person to being whole, to being one with the universe, from being determined by your senses to being, to go beyond your senses. So a lot of times your friends will say, "Arey, what is all this meditation? It's just nonsense." And you tell them, yes, it is nonsense because it is beyond senses, right? You really go beyond your senses. From cause and effect to causing an effect. So what is cause and effect? If I get something, I'll be happy. If I get this, I'll be happy. If I get that, I'll be happy. If I get a new car, I'll be happy. If I buy a new house, I'll be happy. If I get that relationship, I'll be happy. If I get my girlfriend or a boyfriend, I'll be happy. If I find the right partner, I'll be happy. So we live our entire life from cause and effect. The whole purpose is to causing an effect, right? So when you can cause an effect, then you're not waiting for something external to be happy, right? You are internally happy, like you already have everything, right? And when you're internally happy, everything outside of you starts to happen automatically. You don't really have to try for it. So rather than cause and effect, you live a life of causing an effect, because you have really changed your internal state. And once the internal state is changed, the externals automatically change. The universe starts planning for you, and it rigs everything in your favor, because you attract what you feel, right? And when the internal state is in that causing an effect state rather than cause and effect, everything becomes easy. From limited possibilities to all possibilities. So when you're in high beta, there are limited possibilities because you're in fight and flight nervous system. All you can do is fight or flight. But moving to all possibilities, from incoherence to coherence, we talked about incoherence brainwaves, to moving to coherent brainwave, and from the known to the unknown, friends. So the entire purpose is to move from this survival based emotions to the creative based emotions, to move from the known, to move from a known reality to the unknown. Because when you start jumping into the unknown, you start living from a very, very higher consciousness. You start trusting the universe. Anything that happens in your life, it's best for you. And when you start trusting the universe, trust me, I have had those times in my meditation when you feel so whole, so whole, so whole. In those moments, you really feel this is who I am. This is truly who I am. And every time you go through some challenges, you just go back to that emotion, that feeling in your meditation, that this is who I am really. And that's when you really jump into the unknown and you start trusting the universe. And friends, that's when you start drinking from a deeper well. So great, friends. Sorry, I overshot the time. But I think it was an important topic, and we can now move into questions if there are any. And I hope you enjoyed that session. Thank you so much for being a part and listening so patiently. And really, really lots of gratitude to all of you. Thank you.
Varun, it was a very, very, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Yes. So thank you so much, in fact, for blessing us and giving us so much information. And it was really a beautiful journey and a very, very informative session. So here we go for our Q&As. Shall I start?
Yes, please.
Yes. Rakhiji Thakkar, can you please unmute yourself? Yeah, Rakhi ji, please go ahead.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Rakhi.
Yes. बहुत अच्छा मेडिटेशन था, बहुत ही अच्छा, और गाइडेंस भी बहुत अच्छी होती है।
Great, great. Thank
और
you.
आपने जो रिकॉर्डिंग की व्यवस्था की ना, वो बहुत अच्छा, क्योंकि ना रेगुलरिटी कई बार नहीं मेंटेन होती, तो रिकॉर्डिंग की वजह से हम लोग ये कर पाते हैं अपने कन्वीनियंट टाइम से। और मुझे ना, हाँ, वो 30 जनवरी का मॉर्निंग मेडिटेशन था ना, आनापानसती का, उसका रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं है, वो मुझे रिपीट करना है।
Yeah, so you can find all the recordings on the Shreans Daga Foundation YouTube channel. So सारे meditation Shreans Daga Foundation YouTube channel में है, आपको सारे meditations वहाँ मिल जाएंगे।
हाँ, वो आनापानसती का जो मंत्र वाला मेडिटेशन था ना, मॉर्निंग वाला, बहुत ही पावरफुल मेडिटेशन, वो ना रिपीटेड करते हैं तो इतना इफेक्टिव होता है ना। वैसे तो मैं ब्रह्मा कुमारी बीके शिवानी, मतलब ब्रह्मा कुमारी का मॉर्निंग मेडिटेशन होता है ना, अमृत वेला मेडिटेशन, वो भी बहुत ही इफेक्टिव होता है, तो ये भी बहुत ही अच्छा था। क्या कर, हाँ, इससे हीलिंग अच्छी होती है, और आपका बहुत ही अच्छा है। मेरे लड़के ने मुझे गाइड किया था, मम्मी ये तुम करो, वो बहुत अच्छा होता है।
Thank you, Rakhi. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Aradhana ji, please can you unmute?
Good morning.
Yeah. Very good morning.
जी,
आप कहाँ से हैं? And
मैं कोलकाता से हूँ, कोलकाता से हूँ।
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah, I am speaking. मेरा क्वेश्चन कल के सेशन के बारे में है, क्योंकि कल मैं शाम में अटेंड कर पाई थी, लेट इवनिंग में, तो would this Varun sir would like to address that question or
sure, please go ahead.
आपने कल बताया था this न्यूरल नेटवर्किंग के बारे में, okay, and when you were explaining the parts of brain and its function, you had told that our programming finally stored in the cerebellum, isn't it?
Right.
But
right.
at the end, you had told that our reprogrammed memories or programming are stored goes in the soul, our soul. Okay, so why this difference?
Right.
Secondly, as far as whatever little information or knowledge I am having, brain is only a processing unit, and all the information, feeling or this thing are stored in our mental body and emotional body, which is the part of our soul. Okay. See, this is my view or whatever information. So you just clear this one, and after that I'll ask again another question.
Sure. Thank you, Aradhana ji. And so we talked about this whole thing about how when we repeat a habit again and again, it goes into our being brain, which is the cerebrum, and we work from those emotions, we work from those neural nets that is formed in our brain. Now that's that's when you create an habit, you work from that, and it goes into a neural net. But when you release an emotion, let's say you release a fear or you release a disease, you release whatever emotion you have or whatever bad habits, let's say, you wanted to release, and whatever wisdom that you gain in your life, a lot of that is actually stored as wisdom in the soul. So it is it's just to understand that it's not that that memory is completely lost, right? Because it's not a part of your brain. Your neural nets do not have uh, the uh, the function of being angry, or because you've already released those emotions. But you always knew that you were an angry person, and the release of that emotion is actually stored in the soul, and you've gained it as wisdom, so there is knowledge and then there is wisdom. So that's the wisdom that you have achieved by learning that you have released that emotion completely.
uh, I just wanted to know where that things are written or stored, whether in the cerebellum or in our mental body or emotional body.
Where what things are stored, I mean,
where it goes, because you had talked about in these terms repeated behavior patterns.
Yeah, so repeated behavior is all stored in the cerebrum, and it's stored in our in our third brain. And as you repeat, see, the whole purpose is of the knowledge that we are giving you is to understand. When you repeat something again and again, it becomes a habit, right? And the entire science is to understand this knowledge so that you can repeat your meditation, repeat your good habits, uh, and when you get there, it starts helping in your life, right? Because you can get into as much as you want in your theory, right? We can go into deep theory, deep science, and then it just becomes a philosophy, right? So knowledge without experience is just theory, but experience without knowledge is also ignorance, right? So the idea is to combine the knowledge with the experience. Sometimes we go too much in the knowledge and then we forget that you have to experience it, right? So the idea is that we have to experience, and frankly, you will find all your own answers, and you will start to experience the true expanded self, the true soul. You will start feeling that, yes, now I can repeat this habit again and again. So the whole purpose of the session is that when you repeat something over and over again, it becomes a habit, it goes into your being brain. But going too much and trying to reason everything also sometimes becomes a bit of a hurdle, because the entire purpose is to combine the knowledge with the experience, and that's true wisdom. That's true wisdom, where you are understanding your body, you are understanding yourself, and when you do that, the it's a lot more profound, it's a lot more real.
Second thing is how to rewrite the programming of our subconscious mind, because subconscious mind में जो भी information है वो हमारे एक birth का है नहीं, life के शुरू से लेकर के अब तक का है. तो how to reach to those, because we are not aware of most of the aspects of our personality that is stored in our subconscious mind. To how to get access of those things and to rewrite also, because that also shapes our personality.
No, absolutely. I think that's a very valid point. And, we talked about it today, when you go into meditation. So the thing is that, like we talked about a child's brain, because he is into beta and theta state, everything that he hears or sees goes directly into the subconscious, right? So the whole purpose is for us, as we become older, to go into that beta and theta state, because that's when you actually that's the gateway to your software program. And that's where you can start programming your mind by affirmations, by meditations, by visualizations. And when you wire and fire that information again and again into your brain, you start recoding your mind, recoding your brain. And when you do that, yes, a lot of these things are from lifetimes. A lot of emotions are stored from lifetimes, but there has to be a start, right? And sometimes it could happen very fast, sometimes it takes a long time, but these are the tools that can make it happen. We've seen people doing breath work in one sessions. They've release lifetimes of trauma, and they can feel it. They've seen past lives, and they've seen, oh, they were killed in such a way, and in this life they've had pain because they were killed through suffocation or through stabbing and this and that, and they see that life and they release that emotion in one meditation on one breath work. And when they release, that entire emotions released from their physical body, and the disease or the pain is actually gone. And sometimes it could take longer, but this is the process to get into the subconscious and heal from the subconscious.
Okay, one last question, would you allow?
Sure, please.
Yeah. See, you had spoken about this repeated this thing, practice to make a new programming. Okay. But it is also, I have experienced that during meditation, when you contemplate on your qualities or belief system or whatever limited belief system है, आप जब उसको देखना शुरू करते हैं मेडिटेशन में, तब भी वो डिसॉल्व होता है. तो मैं जानना चाहूंगी कि फिर उसका न्यूरल फ्रेमवर्क क्या है, उसका हार्डवेयर कैसा है, क्योंकि आपने जो रिपीटेड पैटर्न का, रिपीटेड प्रैक्टिस का जो न्यूरल हार्डवेयर बताया या पाथवे बताया, दैट इज वेरी मच क्लियर. बट इस ऑब्जर्वेशन के थ्रू किस तरह से वो न्यूरल पाथवे बनता है और क्या उसका, हाउ डज दैट हैपन? Simply by observing your this limited belief and contemplating over that, you can you can also release all those emotions and feelings and negative thoughts, isn't it? So how, in that case, how this function neural network functions?
Sure.
Because
No, I think good point. So when you start observing, your limited emotions, your, I think it's awareness, right? When you're aware, the simple act of awareness starts releasing the charge, right? You start releasing because you're not giving it that much energy anymore. Because the minute you're aware, you know that you are not supposed to give it energy. And the minute you don't give it energy, you start releasing the charge. And once the charge is released, so yesterday somebody asked that, can you delete an emotion? And actually, you don't have to delete a negative emotion. All you need to do is release the charge, right? Once the charge is released, automatically you don't give it focus, you don't give it energy. And when, where you place your energy is where you place your attention. So when the energy is not placed to that, it starts releasing, those hardwired programs in your brain, which is, connected to those limited emotions or to those fear-based emotions. That starts losing its charge, and the minute it loses its charge, you start releasing, the neurotrophins which is stuck to those neurons starts to release, right? And so it breaks the pattern and breaks the system in your brain which is linked to those fear-based emotions, and thus those emotions is so you do not forget those emotions, but what you do is you lose the charge. And the whole purpose is not to blame an incident or an event in your life. The whole purpose is to learn and grow from it. So few years later, when you remember that incident, you realize that, oh, it only made you stronger, it only made you better, right? And it's not about deleting that incident or that person. It's learning from it and growing from it, right? And so the release of the charge actually releases the that connection
of charge and emotions related to that belief that is to be released, that releases.
Correct. And the simple act of awareness automatically, because once you're aware, a lot of times we do things by not being aware, or we are running into an automated program, which is you're just running into the rat race, right? But the simple act of awareness, which happens in meditations, it really, or even through the day, the entire mindfulness, when you're mindful about everything you do, every thought you have, simply starts you start losing the charge for that limited emotion.
Thank you very much for organizing such a wonderful session and workshop. I would like to continue, and definitely I will continue till the end. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aradhana. Thank you so much for your questions.
Yeah, thank you, Aradhana. Very well answered, Varun. Snehaji Ahlawat, please unmute yourself. Geeta Ji Basoya. Friends, I would just like to tell you to share your numbers, please, on the WhatsApp group, Shreans Taka Foundation WhatsApp group, and then you can be the part of the WhatsApp group. So please kindly share your numbers and you will be on the WhatsApp group.
You can share your number on the chat here, so we can add you on the WhatsApp.
Okay. Geeta Ji?
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Namaste, Masters. Hello.
Namaste, please go ahead.
I am from Delhi.
Sure, please.
सर बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे मेडिटेशन मेरे मतलब सारे चक्रास इतने अच्छे से एक्टिवेट हुए हैं सब बहुत ही मतलब अच्छा लगा मुझे और जो आपकी एक्सप्लेनेशन है दोनों मास्टर्स की वेरी वेल सर आई एम सो हैप्पी सर बहुत ही मतलब इंटरेस्टिंग है सर ये सेशन बहुत ही मतलब अमेजिंग है
आपका प्रश्न
नो नो नो
ओके थैंक
you Geeta ji.
Thank you.
I think Rashmi, we can take one more.
Yeah. Shivji, can you please unmute? Vedasri. Prakhyat.
Yeah,
Hello?
Good morning.
Okay, Veda here. Okay. Yeah, Prakhyat ji, please go ahead.
Hi,
Hello?
my name is Prateek. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I have a question: how to be in parasympathetic mode all the time?
Yeah. So good question, and I think we are all striving to be in that mode all the time, in the growth and repair mode. So I think one of the most important thing is to be in awareness, to live every moment of your life in awareness. And a lot of time when you are in awareness, you will understand that you are going into the primitive or the sympathetic nervous system, which is the high beta state. And the simple awareness will actually take you back into the parasympathetic nervous system. So what happens is that, when you start living in awareness, you can, you can snap back very quickly into the parasympathetic nervous system, because you know that this is temporary, this is superficial. And what really helps us to get there, sometimes you say, don't take stress, take stress, but when it comes, what can I do? I can't help it. But I think the idea is to change our chemistry from the inside, to become a person which is very, very different than that stressful person. And how you can do that is first, through meditations and breath works, enter the subconscious and become that person who's always in joy, always in the parasympathetic nervous system. So once you start believing that, yes, I am in the elevated emotions all the time, and I am that person, and nobody can keep me away from the divine self of who I am, then automatically, every time life knocks you out of balance, you will snap back very, very fast into the parasympathetic nervous system, into the higher emotions, into the divine self of yourself. But I guess, what really will help is, continuous practice of meditation, breath work, living each moment of your life in awareness and mindfulness. And I think these things will really, really help to stay in the course of the elevated emotions, and more importantly, to snap back as quickly as you can. So a lot of times you can always see that, okay, how much of my time really I spent into the survival mode, and how much of my time I spent into the creative mode. And there are times people spend 30-40% of their time in survival mode, because they're always stressing about something. And I think how you can reduce that to 5%, 1%, 0%, and entirely move 100% of your time into the parasympathetic nervous system. But it's a process which comes with a lot of awareness and mindfulness.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We have Vedasri. Can you please unmute? Yeah, please go ahead.
Namaskar, Varunji.
Namaste.
Vedasri, I'm from USA.
Yes, please.
Firstly, thanks for my mom for coming with this journey. She let me know this, and thanks for the whole team, because this is the life. Like, I'm in a situation where I need this right now, and this 28 days came into my path. Thank you. And my doubts are very clear. First thing,
Yes.
during meditation, I can feel, especially today, I can feel my third eye like butterflies from inside. Is that like, I don't know if I'm going a correct way. And second thing, I can feel the goosebumps in my body. And third thing, I can feel my heartbeat. I'm not sure if I'm going in a correct way. I'm not sure. And the other question is, I wanted to know the true meaning of my life, like what I'm meant for, why I have taken this life, and what's my dream and what I have to fulfill. So can I come through this meditation, and how to come and what to do? These are my questions. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Vedaji, and thank you for all the people who have joined from all over the world at different timings. It's really humbling to see that. It's very, very normal to feel those butterflies and jitters around your third eye. So what happens in meditation, because you're drawing in a lot of cosmic energy, you're generating a lot of energy inside you. And now all that energy is used to, release any emotions or anything. And it's very, very common, in meditations, you trigger the crystals of your pineal gland, and that's when you feel that jitters around your third eye, or you see a lot of colors. Sometimes you feel that your whole body, you're in the same place, but you feel spinning, because
Yes.
it's the energy that's working for you. So it's absolutely normal, and you're definitely on the right path, on the right track. And do not question it, do not overanalyze it. Sometimes overanalysis also leads to paralysis. So when you're in that, and also do not chase an experience. Sometimes you have an amazing experience, and then you're like, oh, I want to feel that. Maybe something better is in store. So just keep doing meditations every day, and let it unfold. Let it all unfold to you in the most magical, in the most beautiful way. And I think that's what meditation does. It everything in your life, whether it's your purpose, your meaning, what you want to do, how you want to grow as a person, how you want to help the society, and what is your true purpose in life, which is your second question. I think doing regular meditations really gives you a lot of clarity. You will be channelized to move in directions which is aligned to your higher purpose, and you will know that, okay, you will become a lot more intuitive to understand that whether you're moving in the right direction or not. So I think nobody external or nobody from the outside can tell you that what are you here for, what is your higher purpose, right? It's you
Exactly.
who need to go inside, contemplate, think, meditate, and find the real meaning of life, find the real purpose of life. So it's you who needs to do that. And one way you can do that is regular meditations. When you go into the subconscious, you start, so many times you start getting messages. For me, I think meditations really helps me in just getting intuitive messages from the universe, that which way I should progress, which way I should head. Sometimes when things are challenging, you realize that maybe it's not, I don't have to go in that direction, because when I'm moving in the right direction, things happen automatically, and you start trusting what's happening with you. So I think that trust, that belief in the universe really comes when you're aligned to your higher vision, when you're aligned in your with yourself. And once you're aligned, then the journey becomes more fun, more interesting, and enjoyable.
Thank you, Varun, Dagaji. Thank you.
Yes. Should we end the session
Yeah,
now?
I think we should. And I mean, people have heard so patiently in spite of crossing the time. Thank you so much, friends.
Yes.
And really, really, really lot of gratitude to all of you, and patiently listening and hearing and understanding. I know a lot of these things might be new to you, but I guess it's so important to understand the knowledge so that you can combine it with experience, and then together be a lot more wiser. So thank you, friends. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rajshri, for your comments.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, all the friends all over the world. Thank you for being there for so long with us. And thank you for unfolding to both of you, Shreans and Varun, for unfolding so much information, so much knowledge. And you're just I don't have words, blessing us. Thank you so much. You're more than your thoughts, your body, or your feelings. You are a swirling vortex or limitless potential who is here to shake things up and create something that the universe has never seen. So sit in isolation and watch the changing colors of waves that break up on the idle seashore of the mind, and you'll notice that the life is a series of thousands of tiny miracles. Thank you so much. You two are miracles in our lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you, Varun. And thank you, all of you. Varun, very well done. Thank you. Very well explained. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.